Sorry, uh, it was in the box, and I tripped across it, and it was actually what was holding the Christmas lights up the other day. Hi there, welcome to Eve News, Sports, Weather, all of that stuff. And my name is Mike Azrai. Today is January the 26th of 2026, and let's get down into it, shall we? I will need my glasses because I wrote this a while ago. Let's see. First thing, as we speak, the CSM summit is ongoing. So our CSM elected reps are in Iceland, some of them, meeting with the devs of the game and chatting about the various things that they chat about. If you have a contact or something you really want them to bring, you probably have until the end of the week to get through to them. On Friday, traditionally, and I don't know if that's how it's going to go this year, but traditionally on Fridays, they give an open floor to the CSM reps to make presentations or what their asks are for the coming year. So this is the time when they can say, this is what we would like to see. I know Kashal has a presentation involving newbies and tools that will help those organizations do better. I know that the nullsec people will have stuff that makes nullsec stronger, and if there's someone for faction warfare, they'll have stuff probably about seagulling. But if you have some acts you would like to hear ground, this would be a chance for you to do that. The other thing that bothers me over the past couple of years is what we haven't seen is minutes come out of these meetings, a chance to see what was said, although they found that a lot of it wound up being finger pointing. You did not do what you promised to do, or you didn't say what you promised to say, or how dare you support somebody else in what they asked for. It was a good idea. So they kind of backed off in releasing the minutes. The last set of minutes, they got very vague where they said the CSM said this, not Mike said this or Cashel said this, but the CSM said this. I think some CSM members took objection to that because it made it sound like we were unanimous. CSM is never unanimous. But like I said, if you need to get in touch with your CSM representatives and you don't know how to, ask down below and I'll give you the list. Speaking of Cashel, I was chatting with her this week following the news that came out that there was a large ish robbery. And some player used a bunch of alts and got trust in two organizations, Brave Newbies and Eve Rookies, and robbed them from somewhere between 180 and 250 billion worth of materials, cleaning out hangars, any wallets they could get their hands on. And in the grand scheme of things for the big organizations, this is almost somebody stole the petty cash drawer at the local McDonald's. Not huge, not, oh my God, what a ripoff. It probably isn't going to make any magazines. And I talked to Kashal and she said a lot of stuff is already replaced. I offered the buses service to haul any ships they needed into position for incursions. It would be a couple of runs with the bus, and I was totally willing to do that sort of thing for her or ask if they were in need of extra ESC. In the Reddit posts, there was one person called Encyclodoc said there's certain corps and organizations you can go after, and others you should treat like the Red Cross. Organizations that help get players into the game. If you rip off them, you're ripping off everybody in the game. You're stealing the life's blood from the game. So, well, Eve is a game of backstabbing and theft and that sort of thing. You got to choose your victims. And stealing candy from babies is possible, but all you get is a little bit of candy and a whole bunch of adults mad at you. Which brings me to, oddly, another part of the thing is the fact that Eve is about betrayals and scams and backstabbing and all of that sort of thing. It's a PvP game wrapped up in a space shell. And I'll be honest with you, the first thing that got me interested in Eve was the huge assassination and robbery of a corporation by the Guiding Hand Social Club. I hope I got them right this time. It was a long time ago, like almost 20 years ago. But what struck me, I think, that didn't strike everybody was not the fact that you can do this ripoff, that you can rob somebody. It was the fact, as I was reading it, that everybody was in the same game and reputation mattered. Consequences happened. This person was not ripped off as a random target. They were hired to go after this person and their corporation. And that was an interesting thing to me, that this game had that level of involvement, that you would go out and organize other people to go after them, and that they would do it and spend the time building the trust, building everything up until the kill order came through. Execute operation, whatever, 66. Anyways, it that got me into the game. The idea of a game with consequences that reached, that with a game with reputation that was there. People have occasionally offered to help the bus, and I accept donations, but pretty much the bus is a one man operation because I'm fairly sure I'm not going to rob me. I do not have enough trust, and some players are way too good at pretending to be trustworthy for me to actually trust them, if you know what I mean. So, on to traffic. The Goons gained 500 players, almost exactly, this past month in the Alliance, and Lon lost another 397, leaving only 367 players left in the Lon Alliance. For violence, in Null, it was Bravo Whiskey Foxtrot Taxulu Zulu with 231 ships and 167 pods. In Losec, it was Vlilir. I never can say that name. I'll try it one more time. Vlilir, 392 over 111. HiSec, it was an easier one for me to say. Jita, although some people tried to correct me and tell me it was Jitta. I put the accent on the wrong syllable, and I torture the vowels just to hear them scream A-E-I-O-U. Why? Anyways, 821 over 250. In NPC space, it was 3 Tech, Quebec Yankee, Victor Echo in Tino with 47,800 NPCs blown up. I hope you're having a great winter wherever you are. If you're on the east coast of North America, I hope you're keeping warm. It is a cold one over there. On the west coast, it almost got down to freezing last night. Yes, I'm rubbing it in. But until next time, may you fly well. May you fly the ships that you want to. And today's a Malibu lemonade and chimo. Later, Gators.